Okay, so today here at the Landscape Capital, we get a 2015 F-150. It's got the small bed, 5.5 box, real small. It works. You really got to load it down. So we got a headache rack here so we don't bust out the window. But right now we have a leaf machine with an 8-foot by 10-inch wide tube. And we need somewhere to put the leaves. Sometimes when they're in tight spaces we can't use the dump truck. So right now I'm making a box to kind of seal off where the leaves shoot into, and then we'll use a tarp to kind of seal the back off, but basically just making a big box, big tall box, and you know, it acts as a almost like a little dump truck, like a chipper or mulcher. Shreds it up pretty good. It's by Tsunami. So we'll get to measuring here and see what we can do. Alright, so we got the outer lower boards done, and they are perfect. So now we're going to cut duplicates for the top, and then we'll cut the width across the box, and then we'll be able to start framing it up, getting it going. Okay, so we're going to start assembling some of the frame here before we get the plywood going. Just got a nice drill here. We're using star bits, star heads, actually using cabinet washers. These work extremely good. Strap, you know, cabinet screws, good for weight, holding weight, and yeah, you just got the little, almost like a washer on there to really pull on it. You can torque on it with that star bit. These are the ones I got, nothing crazy. Probably $7-8 Home Depot. Just grabbed what I could get. Let's get to it. Mark your lines. Make it as even as you can. Don't try and just eyeball it. You'll end up with something nuts. So I got the first leg on. It's going to be sticking up about 1.5 feet over the truck bed so we can get a tall stack of leaves. You know, you might have to move the leaves around you know, every few big piles, but you can see we got one center punch. And we got the two top and bottom, and it's solid. Now my foreman just brought to my attention, he's like, you know what we should do? We should leave the top open. So we're gonna do 4 posts, all the walls. You know, we're gonna do a front here on the front face, but it'll be half. And then what we'll do is we'll run a tarp over it. And we'll tarp it down on the inner parts of the truck bed so the leaves don't fly out and over. But that way we can pull it off, and we can stack it down and compact things, and we can still keep throwing debris and stuff easier. I mean, it'd be a lot easier actually. And so we might not even do the front face. We might just make sure the tarp covers over the front. That would be just easier to empty out. So we'll keep drilling and sawing here, and we'll see what we end up with. We're testing out on a property tomorrow. We're trying to do typically it would be like 30 to 40 40-gallon bags of leaves, and you can fit a truck bed in here, believe it or not, of that amount as long as they're shredded with the leaf machine. And it compacts it really well. Every now and then you got to kind of move it around and make sure it's lower. But what we've been doing, it just leaves a lot of dust. And some leaves slip out over the side of the truck box. And you know, I'll attach a picture of how we've been doing it. It's just not as clean, especially when you're dealing with the parking lots and a lot of cars. I know all you landscapers know how that goes, you know, with apartment complexes and, you know, just nice high-end offices, and you don't really so much want to do them on the weekend because it's hard to get a dedicated weekend crew, and you know, you don't really want to be out there on the weekend. You don't have to worry about it. I know this isn't a union, but if you can do things, you know, as smart as possible, you can. So we are going to leave the posts here, so there's enough room for the cyclone to breathe. Which, you know, the tarp is going to be just tightly bound just over the side of it, and then we'll fold the bottom up just up under this. It'll hold it down. So this will be at the tailgate side. We'll bungee cord it down. The hose will be rigging in through here. The engine's mounted here. So there shouldn't be any side mess, maybe a little bit of dust, but I don't think you can beat that. So a few different ideas that we're going to try. We're going to, you know, leave the top open, but we're also going to leave the bottom open. That way we can maybe tilt it when we're trying to pull out a truck bed to empty it at the dump. It's not as heavy. Because, I mean, if you pack this thing, say it's wet leaves, it's going to be super heavy. So we're going to try that out first tomorrow. If we think we can add a bottom, that's cool. Usually there's 3 or 4 guys in one truck, so could probably pull it out, but I mean, you never know. We could maybe find a way to, you know, attach some, like, some straps or some ropes or something to help pull, get some leverage on it. So right now I'm going to paint it black, and I always use this 2x cover, which is awesome stuff. It just seems to last the longest, and even if you want to paint a trailer or something like that, I mean, you can wash it off, let it dry. You don't need to prime it really. I mean, it's a landscape trailer. You'll need to, you know, cover it back up in 6 months or so, and you know, I do that on this little open trailer right here. You know, it's a little small trailer, but you can just send a guy on it, rattle it for, you know, an hour, 4 cans or 5 cans, and I mean, these things are only maybe $3.55 a can, so it's not a bad deal. So I'm gonna start doing that, and we'll see what happens here. All right, so we've almost got the outside painted. Just got to do the back wall and this other side wall, which will be the driver's side. I got the front done. Not sure if I should even bother with the inside. However, I did all the seams, you know, all the ends, things like that. So we'll just see. I only bought 4 cans. Right now I got 1.5 cans left, so we'll see how far it goes. Cans. So I think 6 cans, actually maybe even 7 cans. You want to do the whole inner layer, but tomorrow we're doing a lot of wet leaves too. So wet leaves, I'll probably leave, you know, some marks, you know, some splatter, so it'll darken it up. Really, there's no need, but it's always good painting it up, keeping everything looking uniform. I don't know, I just think, you know, seeing something wood on a truck or in a truck, I don't know, it just doesn't look as good. So this might make it look a little more clean. So we'll get some more videos tomorrow. It'll be a separate video, but this is just the building of it, and you know how I thought. But I mean, it's freaking rock solid. And I know I can get it up in the truck myself. You know, I would spin it around, just lift up one side, and just kind of lift it up. But with 2 guys, no problem. 3 or 4 guys, you can put it over your head, put it in the truck there. So I'm just gonna let it dry now. It's actually like perfect temperature to paint. You know, in Florida right now, there's not much humidity, so there's hardly any actually. Winter time here, so even better. But then again, you know, something like this, it's not gonna last more than, you know, a couple seasons. You know, we'll just put it in the shed when we're done with it. Which there's only like 2 or 3 months out of the year where we're really dropping leaves and leaves are falling, but it's not like we're doing it every single time. But we usually have like 3 heavy leaf cleanups at each property. You know, one of at the first fall, one towards the middle, and then one at the very end. And right now we're about to hit the middle. However, it's supposed to be 21, 22 days till spring here in Florida. I definitely think that spring is coming earlier this year. It means as things like temperature, humidity, it's going to start growing a lot faster this time of year. So I don't know, 2018, it's only February, beginning of February, and it has been crazy. And I'm sure for most of you, it's been about the same, but at least here at the Landscape Capital it has. Starting 4 new properties in 3 weeks. And I'm going to give a quote right now, 20 miles south of this shop. And I mean, it sounds like they want us. They're not looking elsewhere. They're just, you know, you guys meet the criteria, you know, let me see your specs. That kind of thing. And we'll go from there. And you know, it's not a huge, you know, complex. It's an apartment complex. It's 75 units, which I would consider like baby small. We have some that are like, you know, in the 300s units. So you're talking 50, 70 acres on the 200 to 300, you know, acre or unit properties. But it varies. You could pack them in, but I mean, for buildings like that, I mean, we're talking 3 stories. We're talking, you know, 4 or 5 units wide, stacked. But this one will be a good one, you know, for me and, you know, maybe a double crew or, you know, a half day, you know, 4 or 5 guy filler. So we'll see. But you know, I'm getting off topic now. There's a lot of things going on right now, but it's always nice doing a little 1 hour, 2 hour project to make life a lot easier. You know, say it does save you, you know, say it saves you, it takes you 3 hours to pick up leaves or 3 hours to trim some bushes, but you can find a way to where you can do it in, you can save 30, 45 minutes, okay? But then you can exert way less energy. No, like hardly any energy, or you could just have one guy doing it. And that's the thing. What we'll do is for the leaves, we'll have, you know, we'll have 5, 6 guys blowing huge piles, and then we'll just have one guy, you know, sucking and moving the truck. Next pile, next pile, next pile. Easy. Other guys can be doing something else. So that's kind of where I'm at. You know, productivity. You shouldn't need a whole crew to do something so simple. Unfortunately, they know tools like this are huge, so they charge a lot. But once you get a tool like this, and you can come up with a rig to where it's universal, you can build something like this. You know, instead of just using a dump truck, you're good to go, because you know you can't always have a dump truck at every site. So I wanted to build something kind of universal for each truck that we own. And you know, getting those tight spaces, things like that. There's all kinds of angles you can look at it, figures you can look at, but when it comes down to it, it's really just learning techniques over the years. And I picked up, you know, quite a few, and when I mean quite a few, it's like times 100. You guys know how it is. But anyways, this is Steve here at the Landscape Capital. I'm going to check in with you guys. I'm going to get some videos of this thing in live action, and then we'll see how it performs. Either way, I know it will be better than what we were doing without a dump truck. Dump truck, no problem. But with a truck bed like this, total mess. Total mess. So, anyways, guys, I'll check in with you guys soon. And hopefully we can make some money here, right?